Welcome to Madame Raven's. This way to the library. She's been expecting you.
The Man Who Found the End of the Earth by FREDDEGRAN. The Flat Earth Society has many members all around the globe. The irony of that statement was lost on Jeff, a 57-year-old man still living with his mom. He was very much into conspiracy theories, so much that they consumed his entire life. He rattled on to anyone who wanted to listen, which in truth was no one, about interdimensional vampires, demons, and lizard men trying to take over a world that they already controlled if you were to believe the conspiracies. You are better off not believing. Trust me on this one. Secret societies, chemicals in the water turning the frogs gay, 5G networks spreading a virus, just like the 4G and 3G networks before them. Better keep your tinfoil hat on, buddy. Jeff, of course, always kept his tinfoil hat, except when he was working. It was amazing how he managed to keep a job, somehow. Bush doing 9/11 by hologram planes, explosives, or whatever. It did not matter to Jeff if it was not in the mainstream media, which he, of course, did not believe. He was, in fact, willing to believe anything. Even when one conspiracy told him left was right and the other told him that right was indeed right, he would always come up with some twisted logic to make them both believable at the same time. These were mostly harmless, though. One theory more than the other struck a chord with old Jeff. The flat earth theory. He knew it was true. It must be. He could feel the earth being flat. He could walk on it. Jeff had, of course, never been on an aeroplane, chemtrails, nor did he believe in the moon landing. An astronaut accidentally hitting a flag and thus making it sway was all the proof he needed of this. He hated NASA more than anything. He just knew that space was fake. And NASA took $100 millions of taxpayers' hard-earned dollars every year to just sit around and do nothing. Why would anyone do such a thing? His mother often asked, visibly irritated with her overgrown baby of a son. The answer was simple, but yet brilliant in Jeff's mind: to sell globes. If the earth was flat, they could do no such thing. Such a devious scheme. His mother and co-workers often insisted that they could surely sell maps or models of this flat earth. But such was crazy talk, and Jeff knew it. Sometimes he wondered if his boss and co-workers were in fact reptilian overlords in disguise. Maybe they even had gotten to his mother. But Earth was flat, and he knew how to prove it. He would prove it. If it so was the last thing he ever did in life. He had figured out where the end of the earth was and would travel there. I can't tell you where it is, but he could travel there by boat. After years of saving up money from work, he was finally ready for this great expedition. Jeff traveled by car, train, and boat. Never plane, of course. Across the sea, across the borders. Finally, he got off a ship. He had traveled by foot from here, and for a long time, too, but he was prepared. Tent and plenty to eat and drink, he would make it. And he did. After a long journey, he was finally there. The end of the world. He was filming as proof. There was, of course, no access to internet here. But Jeff did not care. This was the proudest moment of his life. He had proven everybody wrong. Madman, they had called him. What were they to say now? He looked down from the edge of the world into the empty abyss below. And suddenly, a kick from a black boot kicked him off. Who was this mysterious enemy? Jeff would never know the answer. But before his untimely demise, he would see a sight so wondrous a sight no living man had seen, a sight that made it all worth it. The turtle of enormous girth. On its back, it held the flat earth. The turtle smiled at Jeff as he continued to tumble down into the dark void of space. Under the turtle was another turtle, and under that turtle, another turtle, and so on. Jeff wondered if there was turtles all the way down, each one holding the other up. Unfortunately for Jeff, his oxygen would run out before he could find out the answer. So quoth this raven. This was a fun little story that I thought I'd share. I love Discworld, of course. But I have to tell you that I was told by someone who knows that the Earth is in fact round. They'd seen it. You see, back in uni, my astronomy class was taught by an astronaut, which I always just loved. He was a great teacher, Don Lind, if you're interested. Have a lovely day, darlings. Keeper of the Necronomicon by FREDDEGRAN. My grandfather fought against the Nazis in the Second World War. My father fought the Viet Cong communists in the Vietnam War. I fought Al-Qaeda and ISIS terrorists in the war against terror in the Middle East. But my family has also fought another war for generations, a war against the armies of darkness, eldritch horrors, and evil men wanting the Necronomicon, the Book of the Dead, with pages made of the human flesh and texts written in human blood. It is my family's duty, working with the Order of Merlin, to keep the book out of the hands of evil as it has been for generations. The War on Terror. We were deep behind enemy lines in Afghanistan. Bullets flying through the air, explosions all around me and my squad. I was keeping my head down, trying not to lose it. My pulse was rushing, my heart pumping, but I had no time for anxiety. That and PTSD would come later. For now, I just returned fire. One of the terrorists ran behind cover. The other one I got in the kneecap. He would never run again. Alex, my best mate, was covering right beside me. "Cover me!" he screamed. And I did as he rushed to the next cover. He took a grenade out and threw it over the cover to the hiding terrorists on the other side. It exploded and we could see a rain of blood falling down. "Great work, guys." Tommy, my squad leader, praised our efforts. "But don't forget about this guy." Jonas joined in on the conversation and ended the life of the terrorist I had previously downed on the sand with his loud machine gun fire. "Great work, guys," I said to the others. It was just the four of us against an unknown number of terrorists. The demon. We were approaching the enemy stronghold. There were 5 terrorists and 3 hostages, 2 women and a small child, a boy of maybe 7 years at most. We all decided on a target each and quickly killed 4 of the terrorists with straight headshots. Their exploded heads and brain matter were spread out on the sand. The last and final terrorist would be trickier, though. He was hiding behind one of the hijab-wearing women, using her as a meat shield with a knife to her throat and a small handgun pointed in our direction. Typical ISIS terrorist scum, hiding behind a woman, Tommy said. "Huh, you frickin' infidels know nothing. My name is Karim and I only use the Islamic State for my own benefit. God is dead. Allah is powerless. There is no heaven, only eternal suffering. I piss on the Bible and wipe my ass with the Holy Quran. What I seek is an unholy book of terror, the Necronomicon, a book made of human flesh and pain written in blood and suffering. My ancestor, Abdul al-Hazared, found it, and they called him the Mad Arab for it. But neither him nor I am mad, believe you me. Then I could see his dark eyes switch color to a bright yellow. It scared me, but my squad mates seemed unaffected except for Alex. It was as if only him and I could see what was happening. That is not dead which can eternal lie, and with strange eons, even death may die. No one understood what he was talking about, except for Alex, it seemed. Froglu McLean Cthulhu Reilich Waggin no Flagten. What the freak? Tommy screamed in anger. What is he talking about? And it seemed like a bunch of gibberish, a bunch of nonsensical terms, but somewhere deep in my mind it clicked, and it auto-translated. In the house of Riley, dead Cthulhu waits, dreaming. I still did not understand. It seemed a bit nonsensical, but at least it was English and not some alien language. I took aim at Kareem. I knew he was a thing of evil, and I had to end his life. I could see his eyes switch colors again, burning red with hatred this time, and it looked like the motherfricker had grown horns, like a demon. Demon or not, I only had one shot, so I had to make it count. I took the shot as Kareem was screaming for reinforcements. So quoth this raven. Thank you so kindly for stopping by my chateau, my darlings. It does mean so much to me. Please, if you have not subscribed, as many of you have not, please do so. Give me a like so I know what you would like to hear. And comment. I always love to read your comments. And special thanks to my Patreon and membership supporters. Ciao, darlings.